All are heartily welcome to the class. Nice to have you all. It is so inspiring. As promised, we will be discussing the ideas expressed or dealt with in the Mandukya Upanishad. It has a peace chant. Let me chant that one and then we will proceed. ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः. The meaning is, Om the shining ones, may we hear through our ears what is auspicious. O fit to be worshipped, may we see with our eyes what is auspicious. May we, endowed with this body which is strong and with strong limbs, offer our praise to you and complete the full span of life bestowed upon us by the Divine Being. Om, peace, peace, peace unto us all. Then there is a chanting for, this is a prayer for the well-being of everyone. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhak bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. May all be happy. May all be free from illness. May all see what is auspicious. May all achieve perfection. So we begin with this Upanishad with some introduction. I give a background to this Upanishad, a kind of proper perspective for this. This is the smallest Upanishad and one of the most difficult Upanishads. It is one of the 10 major Upanishads which have been commented upon by Sri Shankaracharya. He is sometimes called the Adi Shankaracharya. Let me give you a brief background. This Upanishad belongs to Sanatana Dharma, which has been later termed as Hindu religion by the foreign invaders to India. It is a religion based on direct experiences or realization. It is a religion, and at the same time it is a way of life in which spiritual truths are applied in our day-to-day life. It speaks of and assures us of salvation or liberation in this life itself. According to Sanatana Dharma, liberation is not something which one gets posthumously after death. We can have liberation while we are still alive in this life itself. It is called Sanatana Dharma or religion eternal because it is a religion which is not a closed system. The experience of the reality or God is everybody's birthright. The experience of the reality is not exhausted by one person's realization, however or however big or great he or she may be. It is a democratic process with many scriptures and many prophets, incarnations of God, saints, and sages, augmenting the same realization, proving the same realization. Then we come to the question of God. Hinduism is not a monotheistic religion, neither it is a pantheistic one. Hinduism does not believe in many gods as such. Rather, it practices panentheism. Panentheism. That is one God or reality expressing itself in and through many names and forms. Hindu reality called Brahman is neither male nor female. It is not gender specific. It is the reality, it is conscious reality. Then, what is the idea of this world? The world of our own experiences. This religion says that the world and our experiences in this world are not unreal. This we have to keep in mind. It is not unreal. The word Maya does not mean an illusion. We have to remember this. Maya cannot be translated as illusion. Rather, the word Maya means ignorance, and in modern term, we can say it means a relativity. A relativity. I will explain this thing later on. The world is relative, and the reality is absolute or ultimate. Our experiences in this world, though relative, but they have value because they help us to pursue our ultimate goal in life. They are not an end in themselves, but they are an aid to reach an end. So, therefore, this world in which we live has its value, its relative value. Then, what does it speak of liberation? What happens when we are liberated or realized? What happens to us? This is a great question which has been in a very elaborate manner answered by Sri Krishna in the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita when he narrates the signs or characteristics of a realized person. When a person realizes, what happens to that person? Does that person behave like one of us? Like an ordinary person? Does he sit like us? Does he talk like us? Does he use English language or German language? Does he get the taste of food as we do? These are very ordinary, mundane questions asked by Arjuna to Sri Krishna. And Sri Krishna answered, That is a wonderful exposition of a realized soul. What happens to that person? What happens to a liberated person when that person is still alive? All these things have been answered in and through this Upanishad also. But in the Mundaka Upanishad, it has been nicely said. Two things Mundaka Upanishad has said, that when we get liberation, what happens? It says that Vidyate Hridaya Granthi Chhidyante Sarva Samsayaha. All the knots, the bondages in our intellect or in our heart that tie us to this changeful and therefore relative world are untied. And our doubts are destroyed or fully answered. What are our doubts? There is only one doubt in our mind, which is the mother of all doubts. Let us think over it. And if we contemplate on this idea, you will see that there is only one doubt in our life. When we are trying to follow the path, spiritual path, only one question will be haunting us day and night. And that is why that one doubt is called the mother of all doubts. We means those who want to take up a life which has a meaning, a meaningful life, different from the one that is led by most of the people. We want to make a difference in our life, and therefore we have to face this doubt. We are called Homo sapiens. We are called Homo sapiens from that day when we started asking the question, who am I? Then only we became wise people. Now let us come back to this idea. What is this mother of doubt? What is this doubt? It is the doubt like this. If I follow the path of spirituality, I may be deprived of all funds in this life. If I follow the path, spiritual path, I may be deprived of all enjoyments in this life, and which seems to be very real to me. So this is the doubt which haunts us. There is nothing more than this. But the scriptures, the legions of realized souls the world over, have proved that at the point of liberation, we appreciate the fact that we have really enjoyed life in a very meaningful way, while others have been deprived of that. And that is why we enjoy a sense of fulfillment. We feel that our life is blessed, we are fulfilled, we are happy to live in this world, we are happy to live with others, to help others, and we will be also happy to depart from this world. We will never feel sorrow or misery, in spite of the fact that we may suffer from physical ailments, we may suffer from our mental disturbances, like what is happening to many people throughout the world. We may suffer from that, but still the bliss which is inside, that will not become less. So we will be blessed to live, we will be blessed to live. We will be blessed to live, and we will be blessed to live. So at the point of realization only, this doubt will end, not before that. Many doubts will be answered. They are logical doubts. But this spiritual doubt will be answered when we reach spiritual realization. This Sanatana Dharma or Hindu religion has its own scriptures. Because it is a religion, it should have its holy books. And the scriptures have been divided into three categories or three pillars according to their importance. The first is Shruti, or the foundational scriptures. They are called the Vedas. We know that there are four Vedas: Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, and Atharva Veda. And some portion of these Vedas, which contain the truth about the infinite reality and our relations with it, are called Vedanta, or they are called the Upanishads. And we will be studying the Upanishad which is called Mandukya Upanishad. So, Mandukya Upanishad is part of the Shruti, the foundational scripture of primary importance. Vedanta means the end of our search, our knowledge, end of the Vedas also. Sometimes it happens at the end of a chapter, at the end of a Veda, and it speaks of the acme or zenith of knowledge. Our realization reaches its height. And this knowledge is Swanta. This knowledge ends in me. My queries ends in me. My search ends in me. And that is called Vedanta. That finds its end in me. I was trying to find the answer to this question, who am I, everywhere outside me. But when I find that answer in me, then my search ends. And that is what is called Anta, means end. Vedanta means end of my search, end of the knowledge. And that is the acme of knowledge, the zenith of knowledge. And also, literally, it means the end of the Veda. Then, the second in importance is called Yukti, or formal logic or reasoning. Reasoning logic has been given a place, second place in the hierarchy of the scriptures in this religion. It shows that Sanatana Dharma is not a belief system. Nothing is believed. Like we believe in a doctrine, we believe in a dogma. There is no such thing that it is practiced like that, it is said like that, so I have to believe in it. It uses reasoning, which is called an acid test. The truths contained in the Shrutis are verifiable and demonstrable. They can be verified and they can be demonstrated, as in science. Swami Vivekananda came to Sri Ramakrishna and asked this question: have you seen God? Full of doubts, and at the same time full of inquiry. Sri Ramakrishna gave that famous answer. He said, yes, I have seen God, and I can show God to you provided you want it. You want to see. You have to see God. Not that because I have seen, so the experience of God is exhausted by my experience, by my seeing. One thing, let me make it clear here that the word see that I will use many times, and it has been used in the scriptures many times. The word see does not mean that we see with the eyes, seeing with the eyes. In the Bible it is said, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. they shall see God. Now the condition is that blessed are the pure in heart. So if I think seeing means seeing with the help of the eyes, then purification of the heart cannot be the condition. Blessed are the pure in heart. You look at the sentence, and that is what is said in this Hindu scriptures also. Purification of the mind, chitta shuddhi. Purify your mind. Then you will see God, means you will be able to realize God. God will be reflected in your intellect wholly. So Sri Ramakrishna says, I have seen God. That direct answer, yes, I have seen God. And I can show God to you provided you want it. You have to see it. And that is what is the proof of religion. It is verifiable, it is demonstrable. So reasoning is necessary, that we put the scriptural text under scrutiny, scrutinize, analyze, and logically reason why it is true. Why is it not false? So that is why yukti or reasoning holds the second place in the hierarchy of the scriptures in the Hindu religion. And third scripture is called Smriti, popular stories through which the spiritual truths are dramatically narrated sometimes. It is easy to grasp ethical and moral lessons through dramatical presentations. And also sometimes some philosophical ideas have been explained in easy ways. They are called smritis. Even the famous Gita also belongs to this category of scriptures, which are called smritis. So, of these three pillars, Shruti is the first pillar, and Mandukya Upanishad belongs to this first category, which is called Shruti. And this is based on experiences, not speculations or philosophy. Let me give you an example. Suppose X, Mr. X has gone onto the 10th floor of a house, and from there he or she is narrating his or her experience to the people who are standing on the ground. He is saying or she is saying how one has to climb up the stairs or take the lift and how to reach there. This is an information for those people who are standing on the ground. And this is not only an information, this is an experience of the person who is standing on the 10th floor. Shrutis are the information given by the person who is standing on the 10th floor. These are recorded. And those who have not reached that, for them, that is information which is available in the philosophies. And this is a data which is based on experience, which we get in the scriptures. So, Mandukya Upanishad is Shruti, it is based on experiences, not on speculations. It is not a speculative philosophy. It is based on direct experiences. And these experiences are the data which are available for us to investigate, to do research on, and to reach that state which these scriptures have been narrating. This Mandukya Upanishad belongs to the Atharva Veda. Of the four Vedas, I have told there are four Vedas. It belongs to the Atharva Veda. The exact reason for this name is not exactly known. There are some who believe that this name has been given after the name of a rishi, of a saint, a realized person whose name was Manduka. In Sanskrit, Manduka is the noun, and if you want to make it an adjective, then Mandukya Upanishad. So the rishi revealed this Upanishad. Therefore, after his name, this Upanishad has been named. So it is called Mandukya Upanishad because it has been revealed by the rishi called Manduka. Some others say that this Upanishad is like a Manduka. The meaning of this word Manduka is a frog. A frog goes on leaping from one position to the other position. And the ideas of our states or the three divisions of our having knowledge. I will explain it. These three states we have experienced: that waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state. So we jump from one state to the other state like a frog, Manduka. Therefore, this Upanishad discusses these states. Therefore, this Upanishad is called Mandukya Upanishad. Or it discusses the three divisions of knowledge. Epistemology, they call Triputi. Triputi means three parts. One is the knower, second is the object to be known, and third is called knowledge, that connects the knower and the known, the subject and object. These are called Triputi, three. There should always be these three divisions to have empirical knowledge. I use this word empirical very emphatically because there would be a knowledge which has been told by the Upanishad, which does not depend on these three divisions. And that is the knowledge of myself. I don't need an object to know me. The subject knows itself. There is no division of these three. So therefore, here in this Upanishad, these things have been discussed. Therefore, they say that because of this is called Mandukya Upanishad. It has a similarity between similarity with the leaping of a frog. Now let us remember some other basics when we are studying this Upanishad, because it is very important to know these things before we can appreciate the discussions which follows in the Upanishad itself. The discussions in this Upanishad are very, very tough to follow because they are not telling stories. They are not narrating any dramatic things here. They are logically investigating our own daily experiences. That is the data they are analyzing. They are not asking us to borrow data from others. They are analyzing the data which we experience daily. And these experiences we have in this world. And They are trying to answer our questions after analyzing these data which are collected from my own experiences. The Upanishad analyzes those data to answer my doubts, to answer my questions. How beautiful it is. Because each data is known to me. Each data has been experienced by me, that embodied person who is living in this world. So this is kind of data science, and this data is my data. This story is my story. This Upanishad is my Upanishad. That is what we see here. And let me give you a very commonplace example. Suppose you are traveling on a train and the train is running, and through the window you look outside and you see the panoramic view. What do you see? You see that the trees yonder are running, the trees are running, and they are running to the opposite direction. We see that. This is my experience. This is your experience. And what we see, that we see the trees which never move. That is my experience. And I experience it now in a different way. It is moving. The trees are moving. And not only that they are moving, but they are running to the opposite direction. Sure. So we get two things here. So now analyze this data, everybody's experience. You know that the trees do not move. You know that. At the same time, you see that they are moving, they are running. Are they not your own experiences? Are they not contradictory? Seeing is believing. And you are seeing this. Do you believe in this? No. But do you see this? Yes. Which one of these two experiences of yours is false? Which one of these two experiences? That you have seen trees never move. Now you see that the trees are not only moving, they are running. Not only running, they are running to the opposite direction. Now, seeing is believing. That is the maxim. Is it like that? Another data. You see that the trees are running to the opposite direction. Opposite direction, opposite to what? Opposite to what? You see that the trees are running to the opposite direction. Opposite to what? Opposite to the direction of your train, which is also running. Now the question is, which is running to the opposite direction? The trees or the train? You have to think it. Which is running to the opposite direction? The trees or the train? We will say obviously the trees are running to the opposite direction. Why? Because you took your position and the experiences you have from this position to be true. Because you are located on a moving train, therefore your experiences are contradicted. But the thing is that the foundation below, the ground below you is not steady. You too are moving. The ground below is not steady. It is moving away. The ground, the experiences in this world, what we think that the real experiences, they are changeful, they're moving away. Be careful. So be careful. Now, if you get out of the train, what happens? We will be back to what is true. We'll be back to the truth. The contradiction was created not by the train, not by the trees, but by you. Because you chose to be located on a moving train. Locate yourself on the unmoving tree, you will see the truth. The trees are not moving, the trains are moving. Location is important. This will be discussed in this Upanishad. Where are you located? In which state you are located? And your experiences will be proved to be true according to the truth of that state. And the truth of each state, in mathematical calculation, logically speaking, if there are 3 points, suppose A, B, C, if I stand on point A and negate the experiences or existence of B and C, and again if I stand on B point and negate the existence of A and C, and finally if I locate myself on C point and negate the existence of A and B, then what happens? What is the truth about it? When I am in the waking state, there is no dreaming, no deep sleep. Because I am located on this or in this waking state. There is no existence of my dream. I am not dreaming. Of course, it may be a bigger dream, but suppose I am not dreaming. This is a state which is called Jagrat, a waking state. So I am located on this state. And therefore, two other states are not there. I am not sleeping. I am not in deep sleep. I am not dreaming. And when I am dreaming, I am not awake. I am not in deep sleep. And when I am in deep sleep, two other states do not exist. Therefore, the truth is, if you can negate the existence of two other states, standing on each one of these three states, then the proof is that none of these three states is real. None of these three states are real. We are located on unreal states. Similarly, as long as we locate ourselves on this changeful reality or relative reality, we will continue to have contradictory experiences. But when we are able to locate ourselves on the unchanging reality, we will see the truth about changefulness. You will see, when I am standing at the corner of the road, I can go on counting how many people are passing by. I can count because I am not going with them. I can do that. So if I am able to locate myself on the unchanging reality, then and then only I will be able to see the truth about changefulness, not before that. I am flowing with the current. I won't be able to know the truth about this flow. And you will discover in and through this Upanishadic discussion that the unchanging reality is there in you. You are that, thou art that, tat tvam asi. That truth will be told. We humans, we try to inquire into the nature of this reality. Both the physical science and philosophy researched on this topic of our existential importance. We came to the conclusion that the reality should be and is ultimate, one, and infinite. There can be nothing beyond this. There can be nothing apart from this. There can be nothing more than this. That is what is called infinite reality. According to Vedanta, if you see the one as many, if you see this one infinite reality as many, then you are making a mistake. And this mistake is called ignorance or ajnana or maya, relative. It is not absolutely unreal, but it relatively real. Not absolutely unreal, but relatively real. This you have to keep in mind. And this relativity is called maya. Maya, that which does not exist when the ignorance is gone. Well, then the question comes, is the one reality conscious or inert matter? Well, the material science says that the reality is matter because it is material science. So reality should be matter. Everything, whatever it deals with, should be matter. And then the consciousness is a byproduct of this matter. Vedanta does not deny this assertion, but it modifies it in its own way, and it says that the reality is conscious and due to ignorance we call the phenomenon as matter. We call the phenomenon matter. Moreover, if you believe that matter produces consciousness, then it is obvious and true that matter contains consciousness in potential form. Matter contains consciousness in potential form. That is why it is coming out of it. You churn the milk and get butter. That means the milk contains butter. Butter is a byproduct of milk. What is this byproduct? It is milk. That is the nature of milk, that it has butter in it. We will come to this idea in this Upanishad itself. Sarvam khalu idam brahman, other Upanishad says that the same consciousness pervades everywhere. They give the example of gold ornaments. I have 3 ornaments made of gold: a ring, a bangle, and a necklace, suppose. These are the 3 ornaments. But before I made these 3 ornaments, these were all gold. Now, how are these three ornaments different from gold? This question we have to ask. And also, how are they different from each other? They are different because of two things. These three ornaments are different from each other because of two things. One is called the name, another is the form. Ornament has its own form, has its own name. Ring, it has a form different than the bangle or necklace. The bangle has a form different than necklace and ring, and they have different names. So these are the only two things, nama, rupa, name and form, which accounts for this difference. Actually speaking, they are non-different. Now, if I melt all these three ornaments, what do I get? I get gold. And then I say gold is the byproduct of these three ornaments. Byproduct. This is not true. This cannot be accepted. This is not acceptable. Now, furthering this analysis, we pose a question like this. Are we counting the things before us like this way? Very easy way, like a scientist, I will count. There are four things here: ring, bangle, necklace, and gold. Three things. Do we count like that? No. Why? Because they are either one or three. 1 plus 3, no, you cannot count. This is wrong, mathematically wrong. Three things cannot be four. Therefore, logically we can say that these three are either one or three. But then question is, there was only one before, only one gold bullion. So therefore the equation is, the gold is the truth, not the names and forms. Why? Because the gold can exist without name and form. Name and form cannot exist without gold. If you remove gold, there will be no bangle, no ring, no necklace. This is the truth. And replace this gold by consciousness. If you remove this consciousness from all of us, there will be none of us existing. Because we exist in name and form only. And this will be elaborated in this Upanishad. Now, I have just 10 minutes time. Let me just begin with this Upanishad a bit just for today, because we will continue with this Mandukya Upanishad class every coming Saturdays at this particular time. And Sunday we will have, tomorrow we will have the Yoga Sutra class. You will see all the communications contain the details. So every week we will also add more classes. That will be by Swami Bhaswatanandaji, and we will reorganize these times and dates. So it will be our great pleasure to connect with you through this wonderful modern means. And also it will be our great pleasure to see that you are all keeping well, healthy, and happy. This Upanishad is the smallest of the Upanishads I have told, because it has got 12 mantras and they are very small. And there is a karika in the form of verses, actually commentary on the ideas expressed in these 12 mantras. They are called commentaries, but when the commentaries are written in the form of poems, they are called karikas. So poetic commentaries, and they are 225. 225 karikas or verses are there to explain the ideas in these 12 mantras. And this karika is, these karikas are written by Gaudapada. Gaudapada was the guru of Shankaracharya's guru. Adi Shankaracharya's guru was Govindapada and his guru was Gaudapada. And this Upanishad, with all these karikas, has got 4 chapters. I will briefly give an idea about those 4 chapters. And one thing here, let us know it very clearly. What is a commentary? Commentary is that which explains the mantras in the sequence as they are, not breaking the mantras into, reorganizing the mantras into prose order. But as the words happen, that way the words have been explained, and at the same time, the philosophical interpretations of those words and the sentences and the whole mantra, that also have been narrated. That is what is called a commentary. And there are various commentators. Commentators, they comment on these mantras depending on the philosophies they are subscribing to, the schools they are affiliated to. So here we will follow the commentary by Shankaracharya on the poetic commentary of his great guru, if we can say that, like great grandfather. So it is Govindapada's guru, Gaudapada. These 4 chapters are called prakaranas. Prakaranas. Prakaranas means chapters. One is called, the first one called Agama Prakarana. Agama means the Shrutis. Agama Prakarana means it is a Shruti Upanishad. The main Upanishad, 12 mantras are included in this. So in the first chapter, these mantras occur. And Agama also means which has come following the teacher and disciple tradition. Agama, Agata, which has come down to us like this. The disciples, they went on augmenting the ideas and realizations of their forerunners. Went on augmenting. They did not float their philosophies, different from the philosophy preached by their teachers, because there is no scope for speculation. If a student comes more brilliant than the teacher, then the student can find some logic, a better logic behind the translations or commentaries, and then that student will float his or her own school. It is not like that. In this tradition, the students, they went on augmenting the experiences of their teachers, because this is based on experiences. This is not based on speculations. There is no scope for speculation. So the first prakarana, first chapter, contains 12 mantras and 29 karikas, commentary in verse form. Second prakarana is called Vaitatya prakarana. Vaitatya means illusoriness, relative experience of the phenomenon. That is called Vaitatya. It has got 38 karikas or verses. And the third prakarana is Advaita prakarana. It speaks of non-dual experiences. It tries to prove that our experiences are non-dual. So this has got 48 karikas or 48 verses in the commentaries in the form of verses. And the last one is called Alata Shanti Prakaranam. So Alata Shanti Prakaranam means it ends our inquiry and it takes us to the realization. It has got 100 karikas. So with this, we stop here. We have discussed that this Upanishad has got 4 chapters. Agama Prakarana means which deals with the Upanishad proper and some commentaries. Second one is called the Vaitatya Prakarana, which deals with the illusionariness of these experiences. And the third Prakarana is known as Advaita Prakarana, that deals with non-dual experiences. And the fourth one, the last one, is called Alata Shanti Prakarana, the realization. So therefore, these are the 4 chapters. We will take them up one by one in our consecutive classes. So many thanks for joining. I will end with that. I thank George specially. Because of him we are able to plan this thing. He was the inspiration behind this. I'm thankful that he has joined today, and the audio of this will be available. I will speak with George. I have also recorded this. You can listen to it, and I think I have given very in short, very clear understanding about the background philosophy which supports the ideas in this Upanishad, and also we'll be discussing the main ideas in the Upanishads in our next classes. Thank you very much. Keep well, keep safe, take care of yourself, take care of everyone.